What's up, guys? I'm Kyle, also known as the Panda Man. In today's video, I'm going to tell you why you don't have to worry about losing muscle when you fast. One of the biggest concerns that people reach out to me with is, hey, Panda Man, when I fast, aren't I going to lose muscle? And I get it. This is why when I first heard of fasting back when I was competing, in the early 2000s, 2005, 6, I had heard of fasting. I'm like, you can't do that. You're going to lose muscle. Your muscle is going to turn into your energy source. And it was unfounded fear. So I completely understand the fear. But let's start here. We go back to how the body adapted over the past thousands of years, 5,000, 10,000 years. When we didn't have a fridge right there in the freezer and a pantry with all this food. You had to go out and you had to hunt and you had to gather. There would be days where you went foodless. You didn't have any food. Now, the very things that would allow you to go out and gather the food and to hunt, your muscle and your brain, if those things down-regulated just because you went a day or two without food, we wouldn't have survived. Your gene line would have gone extinct. So from a survival point of view, these things have to get enhanced. Let's start with brain function, even though I really want to talk to you about muscle, but with your brain function, it gets greatly enhanced in the fast. Growth hormone is up, okay, it's going to enhance brain function. Cortisol and adrenaline are mildly elevated. They're going to help you really lock in and focus. So brain function is greatly enhanced. And with fasting, BDNF, it's basically growth, like a growth fertilizer for your synapses in your brain and the neurons in your brain, the neural networks. It used to be thought that BDNF could only be increased through exercise, which is one of the great reasons to exercise. But fasting also jacks this way up. So that's a great thing. Brain function is really enhanced. And let's talk about muscle. With muscle, growth hormone, as I said, when you start getting into these 1-day fast, 2-day fast, and 3-day fast, growth hormone, the endogenous, what's produced within the body, goes up 2,000 to 3,000%. 2,000 to 3,000%. Now imagine if you're doing this every day. Now growth hormone is very good at preserving muscle. The main reason that bodybuilders use growth hormone is to burn body fat. It's not to get bigger, but it is very good at preserving muscle. Luteinizing hormone, this is the precursor to testosterone, goes up in certain studies I've looked at, 67% in men that do 5-day fasts, 67%. Now, when you look at the research, it'll show you that we'll have a decrease when we're in a long fast of things such as testosterone. But guess what happens when you come out of the fast and you start refeeding? Some studies show it more than triples over baseline when we come out of it. And this is what I've been teaching now for years. There's a slingshot effect. So when we fast, if your muscle shows that it came down, but you're dropping weight, that's our first concern with most people is dropping weight and getting body fat down. If your performance has not declined, don't worry about it. It's all about performance. Now, if your performance starts to tank, then we have to examine exactly what you're doing. When I just did my last in-body, I weighed in, I think, at 224 pounds, and I had 124 pounds of pure muscle. Not bones, not organs, muscle. Way more than half my body weight is muscle. I am living proof, and many of my clients are living proof that when you do this, you don't lose muscle. Stop thinking in such a micro, time period. Stop thinking in such a short, finite time period. Think of the long term. When you are more insulin sensitive, which is the main thing we're trying to do with the Panda diet and with fasting, your calorie partitioning, your nutrient partitioning, where your calories go when you eat them, is enhanced. We want those calories when they come in, the nutrients when they come in, to go towards the muscle cell rather than the fat cell. The average person is typically going to store more in their fat cell than their muscle cell. Now, we can enhance the calorie partitioning through getting more insulin sensitive. We can drive these nutrients more into the muscle, especially if you get into a rhythm of this. I usually train first thing in the morning. I don't eat. Like today, I haven't eaten since Sunday night, but tonight I'll eat tonight. Right? I trained this morning twice already. I don't lose muscle doing that, but when I eat, I'm in such an insulin-sensitive state that my muscles are going to soak everything up. Now, people talk about the anabolic window. I remember learning this stuff way back, over 20 years ago. And then I got to see Dr. Jeff Volek present on this. Right? He's one of the leading nutrition experts in the world. He talked about this anabolic window. This is another thing. People think right after they work out, they got to go jam this recovery shake. We'll go over the theory behind that in a second. But what he said always stuck with me. That anabolic window doesn't close until you put something into it. You could go 12 hours, you could go 24 hours. I've worked out twice a day on 5-day fast. I'm still here, I haven't withered away. So that's one thing that we want to look at. Now, the idea behind the post-workout recovery shake, cortisol, right, is going to go up with the workout. Working out is a stressor on the human body. It's a stress applied where we want to come back bigger and stronger so we can handle it easier the next time. That's a survival mechanism. The idea behind a post-workout recovery shake is to get insulin up. Insulin's a driver, right? It's going to tell the body to store nutrients. But if insulin goes up, cortisol comes back down. Now, we can do that hours and hours after the workout when you have your feast. Your body can thrive and perform better in a fast. And I can tell you this, like this morning when I was doing my run, for me, it was a great pace. I went 3 miles at 8 minutes and 23 seconds a mile. I'm on a 2-day fast right now. I haven't eaten since Sunday, right? So performance, always look at performance. Is it getting enhanced through your fasting? If so, over the long term, you're actually gonna be able to put on muscle doing this. And we have to build your appetite over time too. So when you feast, you're getting in tons and tons of nutrients. Keep that in mind. Don't worry about losing muscle when you fast. And if you are above men, 12% body fat, don't worry about bulking up. You should be focused on getting lean. You get into that 10 to 12% body fat range, insulin sensitivity is optimized. Putting muscle on is going to become much easier and more of a joy because you're going to get to see the muscle. Thanks for tuning into today's video, guys. And I need you to do a couple things for me. I need you to hit the like button so I know that you like what I'm putting out, and I'll put out more stuff like this for you. I need you to leave a comment. It could be a question, a concern, something you want to critique me on, debate me in the comment section. But I love reading the comments. And lastly, hit the subscribe and notification button. That way you're sure never to miss anything that the Panda Man puts out.